Today, I have an opportunity to introduce a friend, but also somebody who I have a lot of admiration for what she does and the organization that she works for, which is IMI International, led by another friend of mine, Don Mayo. IMI International has been a huge part of the GenWell project from day one as a research consulting organization, and Vanessa can tell us a little more about IMI when she comes on. They have been here from day one, helping us understand the importance of human connection for society, as individuals, as businesses, and as communities that are all trying to better understand this from an insights perspective. So from an introduction standpoint, Vanessa Toperczer, her passion is to spark energy to see, articulate, and go after opportunity, focusing on what can propel businesses and brands forward. Driven by intention and curiosity, Vanessa's career has provided her with a 360-degree view of the marketing world, spanning agency, brand, not-for-profit, social enterprise, and the insight side of business. Her experience encompasses brand transformation and optimization, growth strategy development, communication strategy and articulation, partnership and sponsorship strategy, in addition to team leadership and empowerment. As Senior Vice President at IMI International, Vanessa uses this mindset and experiences as fuel in helping marketing professionals and CEOs make stronger insight-driven decisions for any business challenges. My good friend, Vanessa Toperczer, how are you today?
I'm amazing. Thanks so much for having me, Pete, and thanks everybody for joining today. That was a great introduction, and we have been happy as IMI, and myself obviously included, to be a part of the GenWell connection. Great, so I'm going to be talking today about human connection and the fact that it's just good business. Bring some insights to light that hopefully inspire you to think a little bit differently, or give you some ideas on how human connection can be integrated into your business. So if we just flip the slide, there we go. So just a little bit about IMI International. I know that Pete did talk a little bit about us, but for those of you where IMI is a new name, we are an independent marketing insights consultancy with the core purpose of insight driving profit. Our purpose is to uncover the strong insight needed for our clients so they can drive their businesses forward. We work with over 150 clients on any given year across multiple industries, either on one singular need or every step of the way in the marketing process, from initial discovery and who I should even talk to, where I should be, what my position should be, through confirmation, once you know what you want to do, and then optimization once you're in market. And we always pride ourselves on pragmatic insight and giving relevant context, not just the data. Most of what you're going to be seeing in the presentation today comes from our new innovation in our Pulse suite of products, as well as IMI 24. And this is a database that we refresh biannually with over 1,200 passion points. We talk to 400 brands, 275 categories. We can cut it by over 40 plus demographic profiles to really help our clients efficiently and effectively understand who to target, how to connect, where to be, and then what to say to basically connect with their consumer and drive their businesses forward. So enough about us. Let's talk about today. What's inside? We're going to, for a very brief moment in time, take a look back at 2020 and 2021, only from a perspective, to provide some perspective on how we feel now. How did people feel? What were they missing? What were they most excited about? Then we're going to talk about, where are we now? Where are consumers now? How are they feeling now? And what's exciting them about now and the future? And we're going to wrap this into the role of connection in business and how the role of human connection can drive your business forward, because that's basically what we do and what we specialize in. And then Pete's going to come back for some Q&A. So let's jump into it. Since February 2020, IMI International has embarked on 25 tracking studies across over 40 countries, and we've interviewed almost 2 million people so that we can continue to keep a pulse on what the impact of the pandemic and associated realities were on people's lives. Truly important to understand what is going on in people's lives and how are they feeling so that we can best connect. So this is where we were in 2020. And I know that if we just pause for a minute, we can sort of feel how we felt in 2020. This was the worst ever at any point in my life. This was in November 2020. I felt the worst ever in social unrest. I feel anxious for the first time in my life, or the worst ever time in my life. My mental health. This was unaided when we asked consumers, how are you feeling right now? What is it at the worst ever? My stress level, my concern about the future. It wasn't a very happy time. This is how people felt unaided during the pandemic. Bored, stressful, confinement, isolation. And we're talking a lot about the human connection, obviously, right now. Scared, quiet. So consider how you felt, but only for a moment, because then we have to spring into where we are right now. What were people missing the most? This is where everything really comes to light. We were missing family celebrations, birthdays, small events with family and loved ones, personal celebrations, weddings, anniversaries, those face-to-face connections that we had with friends, a beer, a coffee, whatever it might be, those face-to-face connections, laughing and being with friends. Events and live experiences. And it's about the event and the live experience. It's more about the memories and the experience that you have with the people that you're with. And travel. These are the things that people were missing the most if we look back, just to lay some perspective on how we're feeling now. So looking back, what were we missing the most? Living, experiencing life, that human connection. Okay, so where are we now? This is where the perspective comes in. This shows you consumer sentiment, very concerned about these issues. And these 5 issues came from a pool of unaided issues that we asked consumers, what are the things you're very concerned about at this time? This was September. The same rings true for now. This is a comparison of 2020 to 2022. Look at the top. 60% of Canadians right now have none of these concerns, and actually unaided have no concerns right now, in a very concerned in a large way. Our financial health, we're still concerned. 19% are concerned, but given we're talking about recessionary times, we're not actually as concerned, and it's even to how we felt during the pandemic. And there was huge financial concern during the pandemic and the height of it. Personal health. You can't connect with anybody if their personal health is being questioned. 16% of people right now are concerned about their personal health. And look at how bad it was during the pandemic. Mental health. People are still concerned about their mental health. It's about even, but worse during the pandemic. And getting COVID. It's just not top of our list right now. So the fact is 6 in 10 are not concerned, really very concerned about anything right now. So how are people describing today? Here's our perspective. There's another day ahead. We couldn't see that during the pandemic, but there's another day ahead. I love it. It's good. I'm busy. I'm blessed. It's a great day. Obviously, there's still going to be a little bit of boring. There's going to be stress. There's extra stress too, because people's habits have changed. So there's that stress of reintegrating into the world that we didn't have before. I'm grateful. There's a lot of really positive, fantastic words. What are we looking forward to in the next 6 months? Travel. This is unaided. To get 10% unaided is pretty spectacular. We're looking forward to family, vacation, eating, dinner. We're still looking forward to walking. Can you believe it? I thought that we'd be tired of walking by now. school, friends, shopping, camping, fishing, holiday, Christmas. There is so much that we're looking forward to. This is the consumer mindset right now. The desire for connection remains strong. The desire for living is strong. The pandemic reinforced the enjoyment of being together and the need for human connection in many different forms is absolutely essential to the joy that we are feeling right now. Now, out of over 1,200 different passion points that we measure in our database, these are the top things. These are the top 5 things that excite friends. So think about that for a moment. That's a lot of different passion points, from activities to social to anything that people might be doing or integrating into their lives right now. These are the top 5 things that excite friends. Feeling happy. And think about how this impacts you right now. Laughing. Enjoying the sun. The simple things of enjoying a sunny day. Now, this looks pretty spectacular. I'd like to be there right now. Having fun and connecting with people, having a good time, making memories, and just enjoying life, being grateful. This is our perspective. These are the top 5 things that are exciting friends right now. They're not huge things. They're the little things in life that we are so grateful for. Now, the top over 20 passions that excite, have a good night's sleep. There is use a smartphone in there. But if we look at the theme, it's catching up with friends and family. It's more time with family. It's having close relationships, spending time with family, talking with my friends. This is the theme that comes up to the top. The most common theme is that it excites people to be together. That's the human connection. And by together, they dream of being with 2, 3, 4, 5 people that they connect with. Now, suffice to say that the world is divisive right now. People want to connect with people that are like-minded. And in a group of less than 100 people, few dream of being with tens of thousands of people. Now, that's not to say that environments with tens of thousands of people don't have their place, but it's the connection. The point here is the connection with those few people that are the most important right now and are the most important moving forward. So people want to live. Your brand, your organization, your institution will benefit if you focus on what excites and on getting people together. And friends and family come first. We have a lot of questions about influencers and their role, but friends and family come first. And that's across all generations. So this is follow family on social media. This is follow friends on social media, cut by our general generations. So Gen Z, 82% of Gen Z follow family on social media versus 72% that follow friends. So friends are important, but look how important family is to Gen Z. Now that was surprising for us, but it's across all generations. And while youth use everything to advance connection, they crave more from friends and family. If you look at the numbers here, follow friends on social media, follow family on social media, and then follow celebrities on social media and influencers. Friends and family trump everything else. 8 in 10 want to spend more time with family. 7 in 10 want to spend more time with friends. That is really powerful in terms of the human connection. Our human desire is to connect with family, friends, partners, and like-minded people. The vast majority, and this isn't everybody, but the vast majority does this in a certain way. They want more, they crave more, and they search out for more. And surprisingly, this isn't gender or age specific. This rings true across all demographics. People want connection. So now let's look at purchasing, because as brands and organizations, obviously what we want to drive our business forward. And by driving our business forward, we need people to purchase our product or our service. 52% of Canadians have purchased because a brand makes them feel good. So think about that for a minute and think about the purchases that you make. Why are you purchasing that brand? Price obviously comes into play. Price is 3 of the top drivers of purchase, but trust is number 3 and feeling good is number 6 in terms of purchase drivers. So if you have trust and you make people feel good, you can help defend against price. And while there are nuances, feeling good is not generational. Every generation purchases because a brand, a product, or service makes them feel good. It's the positive side that we were missing so much during the pandemic. And feeling good comes in so many shapes and forms. So think about, what can you do to make people feel good with your brand, your product, your service, your organization, or yourself as a leader? Okay, so people want to live. We know that there's a say-do gap in many things in terms of what people say they want, but what do they actually do? So they want to live, they want to experience, but how are they feeling right now? Are they open to being engaged? 80% of Canadians are open to being engaged. They want to be engaged by brands. They want to be engaged by organizations. They say that it takes 21 days to change a habit. Think about what's happened in the last 2+ years. Everything has changed. We need to bring people back out and bring them back in to love and live and engage them. Live events, they excite people, whether it's sports, it's music, lifestyle and entertainment, or it's cause, they excite people. This is how people feel during a live event: fun, good times, excited. A little bit of the expensive, but the fun outweighs anything. So what can you do to drive connection and bring them in to have fun through experience? People are open. We need to invite people back in and give them something to be excited about. Show them what they were missing. We know that that's what people want. We need to give them something to be excited about. So are you ready? Or are you stuck in pandemic thinking? So as a brand, an organization, an institution, a leader, we get this question a lot. What can I do? There are so many ways to integrate human connection into your brand, knowing how important it is. How can your business facilitate, be the catalyst for, or inspire connection and the want to be happy, to have fun and live? Think about your messaging. Think about your visuals. Is it sponsorship opportunities and live events where you can connect and you can bring people in to connect? Is it a partnership? Is it innovation? Trial through new things, inspiration through new innovation. People love trying new things, especially in a time when things are tough. And your purpose. Think about the purpose of your organization and of your brand. And how can your purpose integrate into human connection, into fun, into being happy, into positivity? So you need some inspiration? We brought some to the table today. Showcase travel, fun, connection. Think about the feeling that your brand creates. Think about the dream. Give them the dream. I'd love to be dancing on those steps right now, or on that sailboat connecting with my partner right now. Accentuate and elevate key events. Be the catalyst for memories together. So think about the key events, Halloween, Christmas. Think about those events and be the catalyst to create memories around the holidays, around Diwali. Celebrate the everyday connections. It's also the little things. It doesn't have to be the big things. Integrate into and illustrate positive everyday moments. Think about your purpose. How can who you are as a brand and what you bring to the table help celebrate those everyday connections? How can it be part of what you bring to people's lives? Sports, fun, connection. Showcase fun and engagement that creates memories together. Celebrating connection through sport, illustrating happy, engaged people through connection, through team, through community, and bring people together. Celebrating traditions, be a catalyst for rejuvenating or integrating into traditions and really good times together. Connection through trial. Make it a part of an authentic, memorable moment. Sampling and trial also leads to trust. So think about that, how that integrates into your brand plans. Provide an experience that connects, curate the experiences while driving trust for your brand. Create a customer experience that brings people together. When you look at customer experience, majority of people, 80% of people would prefer to shop in a retail environment. And part of the driving force behind that is a connection with people. So think about how you can do that with your brand. And show your brand as a part of fun and enjoyment with friends. Give them ideas on how they can connect together and create those memories. Accentuate and elevate key events. Invite people back and show them what they're missing. And create an experience and curate memories. This is one of my favorite memories. This is actually the IMI International, some of the IMI International team at TIFF this year. It's one of my favorite memories of us together this year. And integrate connection into your purpose, your reason for being, to inspire and bring people in. VRBO has done a great job at this through the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic, to bring people back in to their franchise and into their service. So the recipe for success: invite them in, make it easy, and sell the dream. Leverage a current database or a new one, invite people back, show memories, share the memories of what they were missing to remind them, because they want it, but we have to show them and bring them back. Show fun, happy, and engaged. Engage before, during, but also afterwards. Think about your messaging and your positioning. Focus on experience, positivity, glass half full. People respond to positivity. Provide opportunities to create memories. Think about how grateful we are now. Think about our personal health concern is down. We're grateful that we are here and we're grateful for what we have. We want to create those memories. Be a catalyst and integrate yourself into doing that for people. Be crystal clear on what's in it for me. What's the benefit to your audience? Know your audience, know who you're talking to, and know how to connect through providing them with a benefit. How do you enhance their lives? How do you benefit them? And what's your role? That's how you can authentically connect. And visuals, people together having fun, people laughing, having fun outside, embracing life. People first, your product and service second. It's hard as a brand not to put your brand first, but if you have your brand as part of a connection with people and you integrate your purpose into their lives, that's where you have their meaning, and that's where you will resonate. Connect through images of people, sell a vision that they can buy into and that they want. And partner with like-minded groups. How can 1 + 1 = 4? How can you stretch your dollars? Bring together partners with shared goals. The more resources, the better your outcomes. And springboard off another brand's success by joining, not competing with their efforts to bring people together. Think of who you can join forces with. So the recipe for success, as always, in anything we do, is relevant. People want to be together. Invite them in, give them a reason, sell the dream, be relevant in your consumer or customer's life. Know who they are, know what excites them, and know how to connect. Be compelling. What's in it for them? Make it easy. What's the benefit? And better than competition. It's not about being differentiated. It's not about being different. It's about being better. How can you accelerate past your competition? Relevant, compelling, and better competition is a recipe for success every time. So human connection, it's simply good business. Now I think that Pete is going to be coming back on, and we'll see if we have any questions in the crowd. Hi, Pete.
Hi, Vanessa. As I pull up the app to see the chat, you and I have been chatting about this, and thank you. You're also a member of our advisory panel. I've been craving this presentation for 5 years because I didn't believe that businesses understood the opportunity that existed in human connection, because pre-pandemic, I don't think most of them had really considered human connection. We showed pictures, we did it with sports properties, other things, but I don't think because we hadn't had to worry about this root fundamental human need that many businesses had really thought about it as, oh, actually, what we're doing is actually getting people connected. And so I just want to say thank you. This is obviously why IMI and yourself are so successful in supporting businesses, because the insights that you brought over the course of the last 30 minutes is truly incredible, to the point where I want to walk into every business across this country right now with that deck and this presentation and say, hey, you see why we need to do something about helping people get connected? I thought for me, the comment just about people are open is such a powerful statement. And I think, right now, every business leader has been so disrupted in the traditional way. We were all kind of going along our path, doing what we've done, certainly innovating here and there. But I think the opportunity on the other side of this, is the opportunity greater than ever before? Has there been almost like a marketing reset for every business to really look at what they do and go, yeah, maybe we should throw that one out, and we should start trying to focus on something that is a fundamental human innate need that we all have? Is the opportunity for change and doing something new greater than ever before?
So it's interesting because when I was at Coca-Cola, I was leading brands. I led Minute Maid and Powerade, Zico, NOS, and a number of different brands within the portfolio. And so I know how it is when you are in your own world and you're in the boardroom and you're in your silo. It's really hard to have perspective. And so some of the things that we talk about, and I talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the presentation, is perspective is everything. And we just came out of, so we're talking about recessionary times. Brands are getting nervous. They're tightening their belt. They're lowering their budgets. They're concerned, obviously. but we're not in the same mind frame as we were in previous recessionary
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
We just came out of probably the worst 2 years that many of us have experienced in our lives. And all we want to do is live. We're grateful. And so whether it's a bigger marketing opportunity or not, it's flipping our mindset to the fact that people are open, they want to be engaged, they're not scared anymore, they're not concerned about COVID, and people want to live. So if you as a brand or an organization can be the catalyst and show people and be a part of them living, that's a win. That's a huge win. And a lot of brands also look at in businesses, and again, I've been there too. You look at it, glass half full or half empty. So you look at that 40%. Well, how do I get that 40% of people that are concerned? How do I get them on board? We need to look at the 60% that aren't concerned about anything right now. We need to look at the 80% that are engaged. There's always people that are not going to want to be engaged.
Yeah, I think it's such a great point. And even when you said early on, and I've got 4 pages of notes here, so I'm looking across my notes, is, when you said that 60% of people weren't concerned right now about anything, it's actually, part of the message of GenWell is to actually help people while they are in a good place to stay there. Because if we educate you about the importance of human connection, then that's something that a business can take advantage. Just because you're in a good place and not worried doesn't mean you don't want to get connected with other people anyway. So it's still an opportunity. We're not always selling to crisis. We're selling to lift people. And I love the 3 words of happy, fun, and life.
It's simple.
Yeah, it is. And I think we have gotten, and I see this, first off, so many comments in the chat about how great your presentation was. So again, thank you. Avery makes a comment, and I think John touched on it, and I think even Jessica might have touched on it, which is just what these opportunities may be in helping people, understand human connection, catalyzing some of the occasions. Our lives have been so disrupted right now. Some of the routines, we used to get up and get in the car at 8 o'clock or on the bus, and you'd go to the office, you'd see your friends at the office between 8 and 10, you'd go for coffee, you'd have lunch somewhere. And I think what some brands have the opportunity to do is really help people create more occasions. You and I were talking about occasions from a brand like Coca-Cola, who was an amazing partner of ours last Christmas, in doing the national tour to bring people together around Santa Claus. Brands, I think, have an opportunity right now to help people reconnect in creating the occasions and maybe some of the habits and routines that we used to have that unfortunately were so disrupted over the course of the pandemic that it's almost they're providing almost they're providing the opportunity, but they're almost leading people to, okay, here's how you do it post-pandemic.
Yeah. And for brands is how do you also bring people in with positivity? People respond to positivity, not the sky is falling or I'm better than my competitor. People respond to positivity and benefit as well.
And I think Martin Seligman, who's a positivity psychologist, had said the most meaningful moments of your life will be the ones that you spend with other people. And obviously, another part of the conversation on the chat is just about we didn't understand what we had lost until we lost it. And then we all became more conscious of it.
Yes.
And so Kiffer had a comment there that just said, it was all about brand. People are now looking, in addition to, helping people get connected, looking for authenticity from their brands. And we see what's going on in the news right now with an athletic brand and being true and authentic and making sure that we are living by the values that we say we are. You talk about cause, and we talk about the decision between what people say they'll do and what they will do. Do you think that's going to close post-pandemic because of the challenges that we face and what we went through during the pandemic? Do you think more people will actually purchase the brands because, we are in challenging times, and if we're focusing on some more fundamental issues of life?
I think that there is going to be a draw towards positivity. There's going to be a draw towards things that make people feel good. We saw that over 50% of people purchase because it makes them feel good. And that is something that brands can help do. And if your brand helps people feel good, then it's going to integrate into their lives. We also talk a lot about purpose and, what really in that authentic connection of think about what is the purpose of your brand in people's lives? Why do you exist? What is your goal? What is your aim? What is your reason for being? And if you're a cause, your purpose is very clear. If you're a brand, sometimes it's not. And so understanding it that always comes down to who is your highest value customer, consumer? What do you know about them? You need to know them inside and out. Not everybody, but the people that you really care about. How can you best connect with them? And what purpose or role does your brand actually have in their lives? That's where the sweet spot is. And if you express that with positivity, knowing that people are grateful and knowing that people respond to positivity, and you show connection in that as well, knowing that's what people want, there's a sweet spot in there. There's a recipe in there that can help you win.
You know what I think is also really powerful, Vanessa, is, we now are talking about ESGs versus corporate social responsibility. Mm-hmm. And E, environment, of course, we're all involved in the environment. We're all connected to the environment. So we should all be playing our role there. And certainly many brands have stepped into that space. We've got governance, which, since Enron and Exxon, and I guess Exxon was more environment, Enron, which was obviously the governance scandal, Sarbanes-Oxley. And in the middle, we have this thing called S, which I actually think most people don't fully understand what the S of ESG stands for, but it's social. And I think a lot of us have gone to diversity and inclusion when we talk about S as a brand platform. But I think actually what people need to understand is, brands need to understand, is the S part is far beyond, diversity inclusion. And diversity inclusion starts internally, but it also comes to what we do both for our customers, for society, and how that is part of the role that we can play in not only doing it from a business and representing what, I guess the financial markets will be looking for us to do more of, but recognizing that it starts with each individual employee in their company and the people in which they serve each and every day, which I think is when they put S in the ESGs as one of the measures, I think you might think that social might have a pretty important part moving forward.
Yeah, and I think, and what's fantastic too, and what we uncovered is that social doesn't need to be tens of thousands of people.
Love that.
You don't, and there's been a lot of conversations too about introverts and extroverts. Introverts, it doesn't, just because you're an introvert doesn't mean that you want to be alone. Introverts want connection. They just want it in their way, and they need connection. They want it in their way. So connection and social isn't about, I have to go to this party because I'm a social being. It's not about, I have to go to this massive concert. It's not about that. Social could be as small as I go into the office twice a week to connect with the people that I'm working with. And it doesn't have to be all the time.
Yeah.
But it's hugely important, and brands can tap into that. Organizations and as leaders, we can tap into that, and with the understanding that it should never be forced. And it doesn't always have to be in massive groups, but connection is extremely important.
Vanessa Toperczer, honestly, I cannot thank you enough for the insights that you've brought to this community today. That presentation will be shown many more times to many more people. Your support as part of the board for GenWell, IMI support as a partner will be something we will never be able to say thank you enough for. And for that presentation today, I just want to say very grateful, and thank you for being a part of this journey.
Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for listening. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm always open for a conversation.
Let's get connected.
Awesome.
I love it. Bye, everybody.
Bye.